Hi there. In this video, we want to be talking about startup challenges as a social enterprise. What kind of challenges are you likely to face at your startup stage? Whether you are just starting last week or you've started for a little while, but what kind of challenges are you likely to face and how do you overcome those challenges? So let's get straight into it today. Now, the first challenge that I believe that most social enterprises will face or do face is the understanding that social purpose alone is not good enough. Social purpose alone is not going to cut it. You're going to have to be delivering high value social purposes as well as trading and making money. Both have to work hand in hand. And what I observe with quite a few startup social enterprises is their consideration that because they're doing something good, then automatically people will gravitate towards them. It's going to be easy. There are certain ways that you can communicate the social good that you're doing. Either you're delivering a social good locally or you're delivering a social good nationally. Yes, you will have the opportunity to communicate that so that you can leverage that and attract funding or attract staff or attract certain kinds of maybe good things to your business, goodwill to your business. However, you're going to be delivering it at a very high value, especially if you're trading as well. You're going to be judged at the same standard as other profit-making businesses in particular. So if you're delivering social good as a marketing company, because that's what you do, you're going to be judged alongside for-profit businesses that are also in the marketing space. So you got to be considering, can I deliver at a high value? And do I understand the way that businesses work so that I can actually make money and trade? That's really important. So learning about your business arena, your space, learning about how to make money, learning about how to market, learning about all those things that pertains to running a good business is critical to the success of your organization. Don't start your social enterprise just thinking, oh, I'm delivering good social value, so that means everything will be okay, because you're going to discover that it doesn't work that way. All right. Second thing that you need to consider cash flow. And this kind of works hand in hand with the first point, making enough sales to generate income. How are you going to make enough sales to generate income? Are you going to be using your website to generate sales? Are you forming some strategic alliances that are going to ensure that you are earning enough money? You could form some partnerships sometimes, i.e., you find an organization that is working in your space and you can co-deliver certain types of activities to the same group of beneficiaries. The example I'm giving is that if you have an established social enterprise in your space and you can offer an aspect of their services that they do not have yet, and you can communicate that with them and you can form a partnership with them. So they will go ahead and apply for the funding and they will pay you to deliver the project for them. In other words, you are making money whilst they are the primary organization that actually receives the funding. That could work. You could do that. You could have maybe a particular service that you are selling on a monthly basis. Maybe it's some kind of subscription model business that you have, but you got to generate enough cash flow so that you can continue to deliver the social value for which you are set up to do. Very important. Cash flow is going to be critical. You don't want to set up a business where you're not making enough money to survive. You're not making enough money for you to survive, or you're not making enough money for you to pay other people, or even be able to deliver your social activities for free. it's going to be important that you find a way around the cash flow issue. And you might have to really bed down and think and innovate around, your products so that you can convert them into cash flow generating products. Okay. The next challenge that I believe that social enterprises have is in the area of personal development. I love to say this, is that the average CEO will read 66 books a year, but the average person in the US will read 1 book a year. So question is, who has the solutions? Who has the analysis? Who is the game changer? Well, of course, it's going to have to be the CEO. So the CEO gets paid more money, and then the average person complains that the CEO is earning too much money. Well, the CEO, he or she, is the one bringing in the solutions. If you want to bring in solutions, then you've got to grow personally. What I noticed that social enterprises do, or founders of social enterprise, they just plateau. They stop learning. They get too involved. They are overly involved in delivering the social value that they have no time for self-development. And self-development is critical to your success. It could be that you're developing yourself as a leader, or you're developing yourself as a better salesperson, as a better marketer, or you're developing in your knowledge of how all the sectors of your business works. Sam Ovens was sharing this, and he was talking about how each individual, it was talking about successful people, and what they do is that they ensure they learn a little bit about accounting, they understand marketing, they understand sales, they understand administration, they understand technology, they understand all those aspects of the business that enables them to make better decisions. Now, listen to this. And I love the way he said it. He said, if you talk to your administrator, all they're thinking about and the advice they're going to give you is based on their knowledge of administration only. If you talk to your tech person, they're going to give you advice on just the tech itself. If you talk to a marketing person, they're going to give you advice that is more marketing based. But you, as the founder and the owner, or the CEO of the social enterprise, you need to understand all the aspects of the business so that when you are making a decision, you're making a decision based on what the whole business needs. And sometimes you're going to have to take your administrator's point of view with a pinch of salt, because they're simply looking only at the admin part. And you are the one who can make that decision. But if you're not developed enough to understand all the aspects of the business, how on earth are you going to be able to make useful decisions? So personal development, that's all about personal development. Personal development comes in here and plays a huge role, and it's a challenge that you need to overcome. And then finally, move on to funding. Funding is an aspect, is a challenge that social enterprises would need to confront, especially in the beginning, especially at the startup stage. I put there 20% limit. Let me show you that again. I put there fundraising, raising funding, 20% limit. And that applies to grant funding. Most grant funders will only give you a maximum of 20% of your turnover. So think about this. If you're just starting a business and all you're doing is turning over 100,000 a year, it means that even if you need 50,000, take it to the next level, you can only get 20,000 from a funder. They're not going to give you 50,000 because they've limited the amount of money they're going to give you to 20% of your turnover. If you need 10 million, but you are a 5 million pound social enterprise, you're only going to get 1 million pounds. You're not going to get 10 million because they're going to limit it to 20% of your turnover. Another limit that funders place, particularly in the area of grant funding, another limit they place on what you can receive is when they say things like, oh, we're only going to fund organizations that are turning over 50,000 to 500,000, or that are turning over 25,000 to under 500,000 or whatever it is. They will have a limit at which you can enter, and they will have a maximum limit as well. And you got to fit into their box right there. If you don't fit in, you don't get the funding. So there are limits placed around funding that you need to be aware of. And the only way to overcome that is by really bedding down and increasing your trading income. Because when you increase your trading income, you circumvent some of the problems that we're discussing now. So having a focus on how you're going to make money, what products you're going to sell, are going to be really critical to your success. Another thing is about having a track record. Well, in the beginning, you don't have any track record because you've not really done anything. So how are you going to have a track record? Well, you can have a track record through your trading activities. So it's important to focus on how you're going to make money by trading, whilst you're still going to get the grant funding because it's going to be useful for you in the beginning. I understand that. And you're also going to focus, you're going to give more focus on how you're going to sell more of your products. Okay, so let's go to the beginning and take a look at the 4 areas that you need to overcome as a startup. So number 1 is understanding that social purpose alone is not good enough. You need to be able to generate sales. The second point is cash flow. How regular do you have an inflow and outflow of cash going through your business? And then you need to develop yourself personally so that you can continuously overcome personal limits. And then finally, I talked about funding, or if you like, getting money in, or actually setting up a good track record. All right. Now, here's the deal. Question is, where are you going from here? What are you going to do next? Are you going to, or what strategies do you plan to put in place to overcome some of the challenges that I've mentioned here today? And I know that this is not an exhaustive list, but it really beds down to some of the key challenges that startups are going to have. Okay, so please put your comments in the comment box below, and I'll personally read it and also get back to you. I want to say thank you so much for watching this video today. Do subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, if you look in the description box, you'll find my contact there, and you can get in touch with us and we'll see how we can help you. But until I see you again, thank you so much for spending your time watching this video, and it's so great to have you along. Thank you so much.